Sawyer, it took a while for the offense to get going. What maybe do you attribute to that slow start? And then what kind of allowed you guys to break through that later on and give that needed push that you guys needed?
Yeah, definitely slower than what we need to be and where we need to be. But it happens sometimes, and credit to those guys. They're a good team, good defense, a lot of returners on that defense. But we know, like, once we get in a rhythm, get the first down, then we start flowing, and that's when we really move the ball, get into a rhythm, score some points. But it just took too long, honestly, for us to do that tonight. For whatever reason, if it was turnovers, bad read by me, bad throw, just like all that stuff. So take responsibility for it, but we just got to start faster next game.
Sawyer, 4 games in, this team is 2-2. Can you just talk about where you feel this team is at right now, and do you feel that record reflects the team itself?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've shown for sure that we're a bunch of fighters. There are a bunch of games that could have gone either way, and we're staying in it, throwing our punches up until the very end. Now, unfortunately, like, there are some games where we could run away with it, and we're not doing that right now. And so taking that next step is what we have to do. But we're fighters, and if I know anything, it usually turns out well for guys that play hard and fight until the very end. And so kind of hoping to turn that corner as we go on throughout the season. But, it happens. You're going to face adversity all the time. And so just how you handle that is what's going to make or break your season.
Sawyer, are you at all tentative to run? It seems like there have been some open lanes and maybe not as running as much as you were last year. Is that a game plan thing? Yeah,
there were a couple that I wish I had ran. There was one early on. It's one of the harder things to do as a quarterback, though, just because, like, trying to keep your eyes downfield and find an open receiver, like, during scramble drill, and knowing just when to, like, keep doing that versus tuck it and run it and get what you can. And so there were definitely a couple I wish I had back and do that. But, I felt like there were also some where I did keep my eyes downfield instead of tucking and run it, and I found some open guys and was able to get the ball to them. And so it's just you just kind of pick or choose. Obviously, like, hindsight's always 20/20. Wish I had a couple of them back, but yeah.
Sorry, what did you see on the interception? Were you expecting something else to happen, or what? Walk us through that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so he was shutting it down, and so I was trying to throw it back down his stem outside, not let the DB undercut it, and the DB actually ended up catching it on his outside. Unusual way that doesn't normally happen. I don't know if that's ever happened, but the kid made a good play, but I probably should have just gotten on to a different read after that. But I thought I was throwing it outside because I didn't want him to, like, undercut it on the inside to pick it off. So,
Cole, an uncharacteristic game for Josh. What did, if any, words did you have for him after the game, and what do you think his response is going to be after this game?
I know Josh is a dog, so obviously this is not the game that he wanted to have, but I know the type of person that he is, and he's going to bounce right back. I was basically just telling him to keep his head up because, it's a long game, and although he had those fumbles or whatever, he still made a lot of plays for us and is a big contributor to the team this year and last year. So really just keeping your head up and having the next play mentality.
Sawyer, how big was the defense kind of keeping y'all in it in the second half and giving y'all time to kind of rally?
They were huge. I mean, I thought they played excellent. That's why this one probably stings so much for me personally, and I think everybody on our side of the ball is just they played so well. They were fighting. They were battling. Honestly, kept us in the game while we were just sputtering for whatever reason, whether we weren't moving the sticks or it was a turnover, just whatever. The defense was fighting, and they fought all game. And then it was just too late for us as an offense to get going. But it was inspiring what they did, and so I'm proud of them. But I also feel bad because we couldn't get the job done. So.
Cole, how does it feel to get that first touchdown in the books? And then also follow up to that, it felt like they were not giving y'all much down the field. What were they doing specifically to keep y'all closer to the line of scrimmage?
I mean, it felt amazing, but I'd rather have 0 touchdowns than a win, you know. But I feel like they're just a defense that they're like a bend don't break defense. So they want to keep everything in front of us, and in front of them, and make us make mistakes. And we just have to capitalize on what they give us. You know, we have a lot of playmakers, and we have a great quarterback. So they know if they play us man, then it's pretty much over for them. So they try to make sure they don't do that, play off, and make us make mistakes or whatnot.
Sawyer, Coach Aranda and Spav have both talked about Michael Trigg and what a mismatch he can be. How much of a safety blanket is he for you? And just is he kind of one you've looked to first in games like this?
Yeah, I mean, he's great. That really kind of like piggybacking off of what Cole just said. Like, there's so many weapons. There's really not like a go-to first, but big frame, runs well, catches the ball really well, and so whenever he's open, I just got to get it close to him, and he makes a play. And so, yeah, no, he's I'm lucky to have him and throw to him as well as all the other guys.
Sawyer, he obviously hit the big one, Bryson. How good was that to have that running game to kind of maybe loosen them up a little bit?
Yeah, Bryson's incredible. I mean, I can't like just how tough he is, physical, just running through tackles. I mean, he's just incredible. I have no words for his performance and what he does on a week in and week out basis. But yeah, and it makes my life easier when he's doing stuff like that. You know, and I probably left him out to dry a couple times when I should have checked it or thrown it. But he just does such a good job that you give the ball to him and let him do his thing. And so I'm so proud of him. He's such a good teammate, and yeah.
Sawyer, follow up to what Zach was asking about with you running and taking off. Last year, we know at the end you weren't 100%, or I don't think you were. Have you been told by anyone to not run, or is that just based on your instinct and decisions?
Just instincts. Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else for these guys?
Keaton, that last drive, how difficult was that, knowing that, you know, you had to, you know, kind of hold them to, you know, not get that close for a field goal range?
I wouldn't say it's any difficult than the other drive we had tonight. It was one of those things where it was a self-inflicted wound. We hurt ourselves on the defensive side, and, you know, it set them up for giving them another opportunity to get more yards, and that's on us, and we have to execute better.
Jackie, how frustrating are some of those penalties, especially when the defense is playing so well and, you know, when you get a penalty and shoot yourself in the foot? I mean, how frustrating is that?
It's really frustrating, you know, especially when it's a crunch time game like that, and you know, it's a big moment. We can't have those type of penalties, and obviously you can see that they hurt us. You know, we just can't have that.
You guys limited Jordan Tyson pretty well in the secondary. Was great in one-on-one coverage. Keaton, how can you talk about their game and a little bit about what that meant to you guys?
Played great in our secondary, and I'm proud of those guys. They've taken a huge leap this year, and we need to do better up front. We need to make sure that we're taking care of business and holding the standard as they are, and so we just need to meet those guys in the middle and work on it.
Jackie, when you got that sack, you reached out, and it was like 3rd and 13 after that. Y'all had to feel the crowd was way into it at that point. It was that next play that was the big gut punch. How big a, you know, play was that in the game, you feel like?
I mean, like we said earlier, it's big-time moments. You know, we got to step up and make those type of plays. I think the biggest thing is we understand that it's hard to win in this league, and it's gonna take everything we have to win. You know?
Keaton, when Travion went down in the first half, what was the mood like, and what did he say to kind of psych y'all up?
Yeah, that was pain. Us, you know, losing your brother on the field is one of the worst feelings ever. But we know that we have to do it for him. He just told us to, kept us encouraged, kept his head up. He was in good spirits, and so we kept pushing for him.
And then also for Keaton, where do you kind of go from here? I think defense played pretty well overall, but this is game one of Big 12 play. Where do you go from here?
Well, I mean, we could say defense played well, but it's one team. We can't blame it on one side of the ball or the other, because the offense could have said that about us a couple of times this year. And so, we just have to keep working to get better as a team. To me, the only way to go up is up. Is to keep winning and keep working and, take advantage of the next opportunity and keep grinding and keep looking into ourselves at what can we fix to get better each week.
Jackie, just knowing how last year's Big 12 slate started out, was that talked about in the locker room at all after this loss? How do you guys kind of rally around that cause to maybe not slide like you did last year?
Yeah, of course, after the game, we talked this how it was starting out last year. We had to fight. It's going to be the same way. We'll have to fight again this year.
Anything else for these guys?
Jack, you guys limited them to 3 red zone field goals. How can you build on that effort in the red zone to prevent those touchdowns?
Just keeping the same intensity, elevating each week, getting better, and practicing what we preach, keep upholding the standard up front.
Jackie, are you proud of some of the defensive linemen to step up in Cooper's absence tonight? How pleased are you with some of their performances?
I am proud of Tez and DK, man. I think they stepped up big time, but we didn't come out with the win, but I am really proud of those guys.